Hello there, and welcome to Mono Blue Week, a special series where I post a new deck tech each day, starting with the most friendly and casual builds, and then day by day progressing to stuff that are a bit more me. Mono Blue Week Day 3 Chisei, Heart of Oceans. Chisei is an old commander from Kamigawa that has a very niche ability that instructs you to remove a counter from a permanent you control at the beginning of your upkeep, or sacrifice Chisei. As you can see, this ability is quite restrictive, as counters are usually hard to come by in mono blue, not to mention players usually prefer to place counters on things rather than removing them. But with the addition of Sagas, this situation has changed. The deck's main focus is gaining value by removing counters from Sagas, thus repeating a certain chapter again and again, as well as adding counters on other permanents, primarily artifacts, protract the game as long as possible, and finish with a few, dare I say, quite fun win conditions. As promised, I will start with the Sagas. Gadwick's first duo, Meadowmice Prophecy and the Modern Age, provide cheap form of card selection by scrying or looting, while Behold the Unspeakable and Antiquity's War provide card advantage, with the latter being possible win condition. Screw of Isildur, Inventive Iteration, and the Phasing of Zalfir are temporary but quite obnoxious removal options that can ultimately transform into either draw, recursion, or a board wipe spell. Time of Ice and Kirora Best the Sea God can lock down a lot of permanents, with the latter being able to softlock a single opponent for the best of times. The Mirari Conjecture, on the other hand, provides excellent recursion value. I know that when you guys see the value of Sagas, you're gonna love it. In fact, I think you're gonna read them twice. Copy Enchantment and Mirror Maid. Last but not least, I put two pillar fort cards to stall the game as much as possible: Propaganda and Meishin the Mind Cage. Moving down to creatures, the list is minuscule today, with Core Tapper and Vedalken Infuser for putting counters on artifacts, Goldberry River Daughter for moving counters around, as well as being a small cushion against very frequent removal of our commander, Jingitaxias for card draw, solid body, and the possibility to transform into a very strong saga. Chronosaur is a very fun card as it provides constant source of counters for a commander, and once the last is removed, it sacrifices itself and spawns two identical clones, each with 3-time counters that can continue to multiply on their own. Adric Mathematical Genius is a neat new card that can be activated to double an activated or triggered ability, including Sagas. The last creature is Meteor Golem, for removal of problematic permanents. The instant and sorceries in the deck provide melee interaction or tutoring, with the notable exceptions of Clockspinning. The spell can add and remove counters from permanents, including Sagas, thus providing massive value and another backup in case something happens to Chisei. The option of buyback is exceptionally nice, as any spare mana can be used to return the spell to our hand once it resolves. It is very important to also keep in mind the interaction between counters and Sagas. The latter are only sacrificed once the last chapter resolves, meaning while the effect is on the stack, we can remove the last counter with either Clockspinning, Goldberry River Daughter, or Power Conduit, which is an artifact I'll cover a bit later. Removing the counter this way essentially sets the saga at the second to last chapter, which, while not triggering the corresponding ability again, will nonetheless keep it on the field, thus giving us the option to trigger and gain value from the last chapter of Sagas multiple times. For tutors, this spell should be used to search predominantly for Clockspinning, Muddle the Mixture for Energy Chamber or Power Conduit, depending on the situation, while Tezzeret the Seeker can be used to search for a large variety of targets. It will hardly be a surprise that the interaction is mostly counterspells, such as Counterspell, Arcane Denial, Negate, Stoic Rebuttal, and the already mentioned Muddle the Mixture. Mass removal includes Engulf the Shore, Spectral Deluge, and Curse of the Swine, while Blue Sense Zenith, Commander's Insight, Diviner's Portent, Flow of Ideas, and Flow of Knowledge provide solid card draw. The vast majority of the artifacts today, as expected, have something to do with counters. Those include Everflowing Chalice, Astral Cornucopia, and Empowered Auto-Generator, which make more mana the more charge counters they have on them. Replicating Ring and Midnight Clock, that produce counters on their own. Mind Splice Apparatus gets a counter each turn and discounts our instant and sorceries by an equal amount. Vexing Paradox is an interesting mana rock that can generate charge counters very quickly, which can also be cashed in later for another tutor to the battlefield effect. Lux Cannon, the Filigree Silex, and Watchet Bomb have got it going on and can deal with problematic permanents with relative ease. Moving to the spicy stuff, I present you Energy Chamber and Power Conduit. These two amazing artifacts synergize so well with what you are trying to do, as one simply puts charge counters on artifacts, while the other acts as third backup for a commander by being able to remove counters from Sagas, thus possibly keeping them in play for longer, and transform those counters into charge counters. This value grows even more by activating Strionic Resonator and Lithoform Engine to either copy the counter placement, the Saga effect, or perhaps something even more fun. I present you the trifecta of win conditions: Dark Steel Reactor, the Millennium Calendar, and Lux Artillery. Frequent viewers should know that the reactor is a favorite win condition of mine, and I simply could not include it in here. The Millennium Calendar, on the other hand, is a fun new out-win con that can scale deceptively quick, especially when double-up effects are, well, doubled. As for Lux Artillery, it is one of the win conditions in my favorite deck, Helmar Mishra the Eminent One. While it is exceptionally unlikely for the card to OTK our opponent's 140 life, it still packs a solid punch, and with the various doubling effects in the deck, can certainly knock out at least one player. For purposes of power level assessment, I don't consider those to be game-winning combos, because that category is reserved for things that end the game when they are played, and do not require to be on the field for more than one turn. The rest of the artifacts are the usual suspects: Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Mind Stone, Sky Diamond, and Shrine Dynamo provide mana. Swiftfoot Boots and Lightning Greaves provide protection for Chisei, and Spine of Ishsa acts as removal. The mana base is expected for a monocolored deck: Blast Zone and Demolition Field for removal, Academy Ruins, Buried Ruin and Mystic Sanctuary for recursion, Khan's Bastion for counter synergy, and Reliquary Tower. The rest is 29 islands. At the end I'll mention the deck's power level, which is similar to the last two and amounts to a 6. See you again tomorrow for a change of pace with another favorite character from Kamigawa in Mono Blue Week Day 4. As always, thank you for watching. Cheers!